Hey guys, welcome back to the Gloria Living channel. Today we are just working on a small task in the garden. A few weeks ago we planted some peas and they are popping up and they need trellising. I didn't get to trellising them the day that we planted. We had been doing a lot of other work that morning, but I need to trellis these, and my germination was a little spotty, so I'm gonna go fill in the gaps with some more pea seeds. And so yeah, I'm gonna take you along to show you how I'm gonna trellis these up. I've planted them in a long line with holes in our tarp about 6 inches apart, and we're going to show you just how we're going to get this set up. Let's go check it out. Okay, so we've got our peas lined on a row down here. I am going to set up a trellis. We have our nylon trellises that we used earlier in the year for other things. I'm gonna hook them up to some conduit. I was gonna do some T-posts originally, but I don't have my T-post driver with me today. And so we are just going to use the conduit instead and throw it in with a sledgehammer. So we're gonna put our conduit in down here and down there and hook up our trellises. In case you're wondering if this is the best thing to use, it's not. I just couldn't find a smaller handled one. This thing is like as heavy as I am. But I didn't have the T-post driver, I didn't have a smaller sledgehammer, I just want to get it done quick. And if you'll learn anything about me, I don't mind if things are a little bit janky and a little bit MacGyvered as long as they work. So sometimes you have to put a little more effort in just because you don't have the right tools. That's okay. So just in case you're wondering like, what in the world? I just didn't have the other stuff today, but I need to get this done. Okay, so I've got our nylon trellis that still has some cucumber vines on it and some of our clips that were holding our cucumbers up. But this is what we're gonna use. We're gonna put up our nylon trellis, hook it up to our poles, and that will hold up our peas very, very easily. So here we go. It's got probably like 6-inch squares on it. It's worked great for our tomatoes and our cucumbers for this year as a temporary usage. Eventually I'd like to use cow panels and things like that. They're just a little bit pricey, and these are like 10 bucks and they're gonna last multiple seasons. So this is what we'll start off on and work our way up to more expensive, more permanent ways. But for now, these work great. So we're gonna hook these up between our poles, our two sides, and our peas will be able to grow up them and produce yummy food for us. Let's go do it. Okay, so we're gonna just kind of slightly untangle our netting here and wrap it around the pole, kind of tie it around the pole so that it'll be nice and taut. Find our corner here, and we're just gonna tie it around the top so that we can form our trellis. If you didn't have a trellis like this, but you wanted to grow peas and trellis them, you could literally just run string down, back and forth. Peas are so easy. They're so low-key. However, they just want something to grow up. Don't be intimidated. You don't have to have a trellis. You don't have to be fancy. I think you just need to, don't let not having a trellis and some conduit hold you back from growing peas. We have a video where we do this in a bucket. Check out that video. It's so easy to grow peas, and you can really do it anywhere. Okay, let's go do this on our other side now. We're gonna try and untangle our netting. When taking it off, this is actually done pretty good. Hasn't gotten too crazy. You get kind of worried about stuff like this, that it's going to be so terrible to use again. So far it's okay. Oh. All these little black things that are actually getting tangled in, this is just a little bit of laziness. These are our reusable zip ties that we use to trellis our vines. That way we can use them, and they hold up in the weather and things, and they're reusable very easily. Look at that. Okay. Not remotely as tangled as I thought this was gonna be, so that is good. Another vote of confidence for these trellises. Okay, so we're gonna tighten this down here, and we wanna make sure that our trellis is really taut, because we just don't want it to be, we just want it to look nice, and we want it to be tight so they can grow up. And as the peas grow and pull down on the trellis, they won't weigh them down. We're gonna hopefully get a lot of plants in this row of peas. So we really want that to be like, actually, you know, it to be strong when it starts to weigh down. The better thing about T-posts that I liked is, since they have the little knobs on them, I could just wrap this around without knotting it, and I could tighten it, these little loops on around the knobs, just like twisting it around. But these will be okay, and you just gotta work with what you have. And seriously, like I'm saying, never let what you don't have like stop you from doing at least a little bit. It's easy to compare what people do online, but it's easier to grow your own food than it is to be content. And so that's really what you want to aim for. Okay. This is all right. It could be tighter. I might adjust it, but you know what? It might be fine as is. You know, I can always go down to the other side and tighten it up, and I think I might do that. But this is going to be great. Let me show you. We already have one tall little pea plant that is going to be happy to have something to trellis up. So they just need something to hold on to. You can already see its little tendrils here wanting to grab on. So that'll be awesome. So glad that I was able to come here today and do this because it's really needing it. You always have a few weeks of buffer zone while they're germinating and popping up, but then all of a sudden you really need to get something for them to climb up. So yeah, we're gonna replant some of our blotchy germination spots. We're gonna water them, and then we're gonna hopefully fill in more of our spots that we didn't get germinated, and hopefully we'll be able to get a ton of snap peas that we can save and have in our freezer for over the winter. All right, let's get planting. We've planted our peas. Hopefully they will trellis up this beautifully. We're gonna water them to help them along the germination. The weather has cooled down some since I planted a few weeks ago, and I think they're gonna love that. Peas really are a cool weather crop. You know, they're not gonna be like, I don't think very frost hardy, but they do like it cooler. And that's why when you plant them in the spring, as soon as that hot summer heat starts to show up, they die. But they will love this weather. It is cooling down. The nights are nice and cool, and the days are getting more into the 70s than they were in the 80s. And so everything should be prime condition for these peas to grow up this trellis. And so we had planted a lot of peas, just didn't have great germination. Maybe that was from the heat, maybe a lack of water. As I've said in other videos, our garden is not at our house. And so I can't water it every day. I can't be out here every day and doing that. So, you know, you just kind of rely on the Lord and some of it and some of the watering. And that's how I do for most of the garden, and we've had great success that way. But for right now, since these are germinating, they need some water, they need some more moisture. And so we're gonna water them and we'll be all set. Well guys, I have got the peas planted and watered over at the main garden, but over at our house, where we do not have our large garden, we are growing peas in buckets, as I mentioned earlier. And I want to just give you an update on how those are doing as well after showing you how I'm trellising our main ones. We did a video on how to create this mini trellis in a bucket and how to grow snap peas in a bucket because they need something to cling onto as they grow. And so this is really fun. We love this idea. We love doing this. And so we have 4 of these buckets, and I just want to show you how they're doing so you can see kind of the buckets in action. So you can see these are starting to get tall, and they are starting to climb up onto the strings and hang on to the string, which is just so cool. We love this. These ones are doing great. That is our best bucket. We had weirdly spotty germination with these, and we did some succession planting, so we've got some smaller ones here that'll come in a little bit afterwards. I don't know why we had such spotty germination. I don't know if it was a lack of our attention with watering, if our soil is not quite right in some of these buckets, or but we had it over at the garden too, so I don't know what was going on. I think it was supposed to be a higher germination rate than we got, but it might have been a mix of things. Maybe we just got kind of a lower batch of germinating rate of seeds, as well as maybe just us being neglectful in some way. Either way though, as far as how the ones that have germinated have gone, they're doing beautiful, and this method is awesome. I will link in the description to the video of how we show you how to make these, because this is just a great way of growing peas if you only have a small space, and I just recommend it. Growing peas for any new gardener, but also if you have kids, they will love to watch these grow, watch these climb, and be able to come out and pick them. And they're just they're kind of a fun vegetable to eat. You can pop them open, eat the peas out of the pod, eat the whole pod. My kids love them. And so it's really just a great thing to do as a family too. So yeah, check out that video as well on how to create these. But all in all, guys, our peas are planted. We've got tons of plants in the ground, and so hopefully we'll get even better germination at the main garden and have a ton of peas. We would love to be able to process a ton of peas for winter and just have them throughout the non-gardening season. Yeah, that would just be a huge blessing for our family. So, well guys, thanks for coming along with me as I got our pea trellises ready and planted some more peas, and just kind of give you an update on how our pea crops are doing for the fall. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Please share this video with your friends and family. As always, please subscribe to the channel. It's the best way to help support what we're doing here and creating this content for you. Until next time, guys, we'll see you soon.